Welcome to Worlds Collide, a wrestling card podcast for wrestling fans by wrestling fans, featuring Tony Vella from WrestlingTradingCards.com.
This is like a stock market.
And Zhan Morning from Wrestling with Cards on YouTube. And I'm not saying there's a right or wrong answer, I'm just posing the question. Join them as they navigate the world of wrestling cards, helping you build a bigger and better collection and making some money along the way. What is up, wrestling fans, trading card collectors, back once again. It's another week, and guess what? It's another episode of This Is Your Card.
Worlds Collide presents.
This is the Tony Vella edition. We're going to talk about Tony Vella cards today. Actually,
no,
just
we're
kidding.
not. No, we're not. Not yet.
Do you have any cards?
Do I have any cards?
Yes.
Of me personally?
Yeah. Do you have any
No.
trading cards? I have one or two of myself.
I have 0 cards of myself.
I'm going to have to post pictures of mine one of these days, but not today. We're talking about Big E. Before we get started on that, if you guys like our shows, if you're enjoying the 30 seconds that we've already been talking about and bantering about, having fun here, please subscribe, tell a friend about the show, and links below for any other information you need with us, social media, ways you can show your support monetarily. Anyway, moving on.
Let me tell you a little bit something about this show first off. We're talking about how you can support this show. Let me talk a little bit about it. I don't mean to go on to this because I know this is called, This Is Your Card segment, which, people seem to like this, which I'm really happy about. But supporting the show. We do appreciate it when you support the show.
Yes.
We try to be a little bit different than other shows. There's not a lot of wrestling card content out there. We're not as structured. We're not as formatted as some of the other shows like that. We like to keep it real loose. We do have bullet points of things to cover when we talk, but we keep things loose. We do go on tangents in different directions, sometimes
Absolutely.
off the rails a little bit. That's what makes it fun, I
Yep.
think, instead of just like this structured format. That's just our way of doing things like that. So I'm not knocking anybody else's way they do stuff like that because I think that all their stuff is so polished and I say that like so many different shows I'd say that about. But we just have fun here. We try to have fun. Maybe I'm the comedy. I don't know.
There's a lot of comedy. I also want to say before we get into this, since you're talking about it, once again, call to action. Please start making more wrestling card content. If you're out there and you've ever wanted to do it, get started. Come talk to me and Tony. Send us DMs about if you need some help getting started, whatever it is. Happy to help, continue to just grow the hobby. So
would gladly be a guest on your new show, whoever is out there in podcast world. Just whatever it takes to spread the words of wrestling cards. And that's what I want to see. So if we go back to our regularly scheduled program of This Is Your Card.
Wow, that was a good intro. I like it. All right, Big E. So at the time of this recording, a lot of you guys, I don't know if you guys know or don't know, we usually record a lot of these episodes in batches. So at the time of this recording, we were on the heels of WWE Day 1, Big E dropping the belt to the Beast, Brock Lesnar. Yeah. I was super excited about that, but I'm a huge Brock Lesnar guy. If you go on social media, and this could be, I'm not going to get too far into this because this could be another topic for another day. Wrestling fans are crying. Big E got the shaft. They're treating this like it's real life, and he deserves it, and all these things. So I want to tie that in with wrestling cards, and it's going to be an interesting discussion. So based on trading card database, which we know is not always completely accurate. There could be some before, some after, some things that were missed. Approximately 693. So let's just say 700 cards. Big E's been around for a while. Does that seem like a low number to you?
Compared to some other stuff we've had.
Yeah, keep in mind this is also covering like parallels and printing plates and stuff like that.
I guess maybe in the grand scheme of things, I guess it does seem a little low, when you compare people who've been in the business as long as he has.
Yeah.
I guess. But then again, when we did the beefcake one, which is what kicked us off, I mean, how many cards were the beefcake had? Do you remember?
I'm sorry, I still can't believe we started off with Brutus the Beefcake when we did this. That's so cool.
But that's the perfect person to open your card.
That's right.
He's the opening match, man.
Yep.
But it seems a little low to me, I guess. But then again, with I think as we go through, we're going to find out. I mean, he hasn't been around, 10 years yet.
Yeah. So jump into it. Rookie card, first card. What do you got?
2013 Best of WWE.
I wonder if that's the same one I picked, because I thought mine was like a flagship, but it might be considered best of. Also, 2013, I would lean towards a gold parallel or an auto, like Tony is talking about. I think really.
So you would call an auto or a gold parallel as a rookie card?
Oh yeah, yeah. When I look at rookie cards, okay, let's look at modern rookie cards. I personally am not a big fan of base, like the base rookie card. Now, if you want to go back to, we've talked a lot about the Bret Hart 87 tops.
Yeah.
That is clearly, it's a base card. It's a rookie card. I guess if you want to compare it, I'm a little bit more, I lean a little bit more to the sticker of the same year. That could be considered a parallel, I guess.
Okay.
So it's one of those things where if there's a base rookie card and it's the only thing out there, then yeah, I'm going to go for it. But if there's a parallel version, I'm definitely going for something, if I like the color or I like the rarity. But again, put that beside the point. The auto here is really the big thing. Like, if I have the option of getting the same base card that's a rookie card, or essentially the same image, the same card, and it's an auto, I'm going to go with the auto.
Well, yeah. I mean, but I'm just looking at it from a strictly base card standpoints like that. I mean, that's kind of where I would go for what I would call his first card. I consider that it's got to be the base card for me, but I see what you're saying though too. I like that set that I picked for the 2013 best of because it also features his first official autograph card.
Yeah, that's a lot of times when I'm looking at these rookie cards, like that's just what I would choose if I was picking it. It's the whole point of the show. I usually always try to stay within that first year though. So yes, as long as it's something within that first year, I always advise pick the one you like, regardless of what it's worth, regardless of anybody else likes it. If it's a pink zebra disco shiny parallel, whatever it is, like if that's what you like of that version card, that's fine.
Because sounds very specific of something you must own.
Panini does a lot of stuff like that. That's why I said that. Like I just pulled out like 6 of their parallels and put them into one. So get ready, wrestling fans, because that's what's coming down your direction. Maybe even by the time you hear this, I don't know. We never know what's going on with this Panini stuff. So I think we're pretty much on the same page. Just pick something from 2013, preferably. Yeah. I think we both picked autos.
I had originally thought when I had to do a little bit of homework on this, I originally thought, is he in a FCW?
FCW, set? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I thought maybe he might have been in one. So I went to this handy dandy website called WrestlingTradingCards.com and I checked out those sets and I did not see anything about him in there.
Man, how long has that site been around and people still don't know?
It's 20 weeks. No, 20 years.
20 weeks.
Yeah. All right. About 20 years now.
So moving on. Favorite card. What do you got?
Surprisingly, when I did my notes for this, I like some of the old, well, I say the old now because it's not going to be around anymore. The Top Slam, even though people don't really consider them cards.
Good call. Good call.
I like the Top Slam designs. They were so cool looking. They just, like they had one called like the Guardian. I really liked. That was a cool design of his. They did one, what do they have one there called? They had a museum one they did. I really liked that one. It was really cool. But if I had to do like a physical card, I really liked the brand new, the 2021 Transcendent card.
Yeah. Yeah.
I just like how it's just so, it's simple. Yeah. It's got the nice cool border on it. I just love the design. It looks really cool. And it's a nice shot of him.
Yeah. That's kind of where I'm at with mine. The problem I ran into that I was looking at a lot of his cards, from anything from a base card on flagship all the way up to Transcendent, everything in between. The thing I was really struggling with was, okay, this card has an amazing design. It has a cool color, a parallel, whatever. The autograph looks great. But then I would look at the image and it would be terrible.
It's a horrible shot. Most of his cards are horrible.
They're terrible. So what I decided on was the 2015 Topps Heritage NXT call-up. It's card number 14. And the reason I picked it is because it's just a basic design, but the image on it, he's flexing out. He's like fired up. It's the most like pro wrestling shot that you could decide on. Like, so that's why I ended up and there were some others where it was more like Big E New Day, where he's pointing and smiling. And I'm like, I get it. But at the same time, like, when I think of wrestlers, I think of like menacing guys I don't want to mess with. And when I
That's
see
also
it.
not. It really wasn't his character, anyways. I mean,
No.
he started off as a bodyguard type of guy, bully. Then got into the New Day stuff. He got to be a little more open and be, I think, more of himself. I think, and people started really liking him then. But I wanted something of him, just him.
Right.
I didn't want a New Day thing. I wanted Big E. And so when I was looking at different things like that, I came across something that you did, which is what we're going to get to here in our, our least favorite cards of his like that. And that was kind of a lot of his cards were like my least favorite cards because they were just so.
Yeah, go ahead
Again,
and let's go into that. Jump ahead.
Just stuff throughout the years, man. He's just cool designs. A lot of, like you said, a lot of cards he had were cool designs, but I just couldn't connect with the pictures of him like that. I mean, I wanted to see, what I liked, which was, seeing like the physical of transcendence like that. But and a lot of times too, they were action shots.
I was just gonna say that. Yeah.
And honestly, I'm not an action shot kind of guy. I'm more into the, some kind of a stage, like a shot, like, or maybe some kind of a pose, but in like an in-ring mid-action type stuff. They've never really been my favorite things. Even like you take a cool move like a pile driver or the pedigree or something like that. Those are all kind of cool things. But I just, they're cool, but it's not my flavor.
Well, and even like I could go either way on action shots. Generally, I'm not as big of a fan of them like you, but even these action shots, like they're terrible. They're like him belly flopping or him like,
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just very strange.
I mean, if you go like, depends on, when I say action shots too, I'm usually talking like in-ring type of maneuver things, doing an arm bar or something like that, or some kind of a suplex or something. You go back and look at like the DX stuff like that, them doing a crotch chop. That's something different, like more of an action thing.
Sure.
That's why I like those motion cards.
The lenticular ones.
Yeah, lenticular ones are like their own, and it's just so cool. But
they were the original Top Shot moments.
That's exactly right. That's right. And a tip. We got to go ahead and put a serial number on those things. And then it's just I don't know. I've never been a fan of action shots. I really like the pose shots more. And it's such like a pose shot in the ring. Like, that's why I like the Big E one. Like he's like kind of hulking out a little bit. It's like that, but it's a cool shot of him. So
yeah, I'm with you. Just I've just got sporadic Tops releases that were like flagship or NXT or Money in the Bank. Like there's just so many. The card design's terrible, or it's just maybe it's not terrible, but it's basic and there's nothing to write home about. Compound that with like just horrible images. Nothing against Big E. It's just what the images they decided to use. So you got a bad design and a bad image. Put those together, not a great card. And unfortunately, there's a lot of those with Big E. Now, I do want to stop and say there are a lot of Big E fans out there. And regardless of what we say, if you're listening to this and you PC Big E or you're thinking about it, these cards still matter. Because that's one thing that's different about super collecting and player collecting that opens up a whole new world and a whole new aspect of these cards. We may be saying they're terrible, we don't like an image, whatever, but guess what? Those cards are still important, especially to someone's PC if they're super collecting. So just because we don't like something, if you're collecting Big E, go ahead and go out and get these. Maybe you like them for a different reason than what we do. That's okay. I just wanted to throw that out there though, because I think there's kind of this misconception out there a little bit that base cards don't matter and cards that aren't worth $1 million don't matter, which
that's why I love about wrestling cards. And we've talked about this before in other episodes where with wrestling you have a particular superstar that you attach yourself to, that you like, and there's a reason why, obviously, that you like that person, whatever your reasons may be. And so just because I don't like action shots per se doesn't mean that some of my stuff in my collection for Kurt Angle stuff, I have some action shots of his like that. They're not my favorite cards of his, but I do enjoy them because they do tell a story to me of something that is important to me, because I like, I remember this match, or I remember that event, that kind of thing. So, collect what you like, even if, we don't like a particular image, doesn't mean you're not going to like it. I mean, just, go with what you feel comfortable with.
Well, like. And another thing to kind of close that thought out, like there's some Karrion Kross stuff I have, And I like, it's mostly, there's some stuff in NXT that's action shots.
Yep.
And it's not really that great, but when I get one that I don't have, I get just as excited as when I get an auto or when I get
somebody sent me a recent little batch of Dexter Lumis cards, and they were all NXT in-ring shot type stuff of him and other people's like that. And I go, I'm not usually a fan of this kind of stuff. I mean, it's in-ring stuff like that, but I'm just so cool. It's so cool to have it. It's like, I'm still psyched to have it.
Right. Yeah. So
I'm psyched that someone even thought of me first off, and then someone, then to have it in my collection now.
Yeah. So again, I encourage everybody out there, pick somebody. Hogan, Rock, sure. You want to go with like that era. Cena, Austin, Dexter Lumis. Oh wait, no, we don't want to do that. We don't want to compete with Tony. Big E, New Day, whoever it is. Pick somebody.
Send me all your Lumis cards, people. Send them all to me.
There you go. Send all and I'll take. Well, you have to contact me because I've got like a large amount of Karrion Kross now. But that's beside the point. Let's move on to the cards to invest in. And no, we are not paying you for investment advice. No, we're not professionals, but we play some on YouTube and on the podcast.
You want to go? Or you want me to go?
Yeah, I think we're probably going to be on the same page of the 2013 autos.
Yep, I agree. It's a great lineup, but the 2013 Best of WWE, that's the name of the set. It's got a great lineup of people. It's got 13 different stars that it's kind of across the board, like some legends and other things like that, and a lot of first-time signers in that set too. It's just
Roman
a great
Reigns.
set.
Roman Reigns.
Yep, Roman Reigns. Yep.
That's one that a lot of people chase. I had one, I traded it away, but
is it? I think all of this Shield in that one. I think.
Yes.
Aren't they? Yeah.
Yep.
So it's got an Ambrose and a Rollins in there too, I think.
Ooh, I just thought of something. Could that set eventually turn into the equivalence of the 2002 Flair Royal Rumble?
Could.
That's a good point.
Could. You heard it here first, folks.
I don't know if Big E is that is Big E like the Batista of the group, where he's a huge superstar. He's got the belt. But
man, I can't wait till I can't wait till one day we cover his cards like that, because there's so much I want to talk about with that guy.
Batista?
Yeah.
Oh, hey, let's put that down to do it on the next one.
Okay, let's do it.
All right, done. All right. The other one I want to mention, and it's a little bit cheating, is New Day Triple Auto. And I say that because there are so many people out there that are devoted New Day fans. I don't get it personally, but I've seen those triple autos. Like, people will pay a pretty good amount of money for those. They won't pay so much for the singles. So like, you could say, let's take a random undisputed set. You could say, oh, I've got a, Xavier, Kofi, and Big E autos, each one, and I can put them all three together. But for some reason, people don't pay the same as they do for sticker autos if they're all on the same card. So I just thought that was something that, somebody might want to look at if you're more of a fan of Big E from the New Day era, as opposed to either before or what he's doing currently.
Yeah. The New Day stuff seems to just get more attention, I guess. And individually, they don't seem to do as well from a collectability standpoint as they do collectively.
Yeah, it's weird. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Speaking of New Day, I'll just take the next topic. Cards we could create. This is actually usually my favorite. We talked about, creating the Paul Heyman card with the phone and the barbed wire relic, stuff like that. Like, we keep going with these relics. And once again, for me, like, that continues in this episode. I would want, like, if you look at the New Day, like, their gear, they're always, one thing I like is it's always very, very vibrant. It reminds me of like those Lisa Frank folders in the 90s where it just had like these animals and unicorns. It was like crazy colors.
Yep.
So I would like to see a card where the entire design of the base, so the entire background of the card, looks like a Lisa Frank folder, which essentially looks like New Day gear. But then it had you'd have to kind of have an interesting picture of Big E, because like in the New Day he's like fun, jokey, pointing, but like I don't like that version. I like the kind of hard, tough as nails version of Big E. So it might be a little bit contradicting putting that image on this card, but the real image of this card, if you could do it, you got the Lisa Frank stuff, you got the color, but it would have a Pancake Relic. That's right. I don't know how you're going to do this, but if they can do dirt from the Undertaker and AJ Styles match, surely they can put a moldy pancake in there.
somehow it has to be like, put in there and sealed so that it doesn't get,
Yeah,
doesn't go bad. That's
yeah.
funny. Yeah.
Ring used pancake.
Ring
That's it.
used
That's
pancake.
You could get me to drop some serious money for something weird like that. I think I would be more opt to. Prime example was the heritage short print Roman Reigns with the dog on it. Like, I'm a huge fan of the bully breeds,
Yep.
and I really connect. So, and I think if there were more wrestling cards out there that were just so strange, I was like, this is so weird, I've got to have it.
For me, for my card to create, I'm kind of got to go back and it's like that on, saying like individually and have a new day thing. I kind of would make it a new day thing for him actually for
Here,
my particular.
we're both doing the New Day stuff. It's funny.
Yeah, I figured I would. I'm kind of inspired, but my idea is kind of inspired by what I saw recently in the Undisputed with the matchbook theme.
Oh yeah.
And I like that. I like the matchbook themes like that, where it's done in a matchbook style type thing, where on one side of it, it would be a triple signature of all three of them. And matter of fact, let me revise myself because I have my notes. Just make it Big E. Make it just Big E on one side. Again, and I'm going to borrow now from yours with the cool design with the bright colors like that of his, and just kind of have on the other side, almost like something significant, maybe him win the world title on the other side.
Like an
And
image.
like an image on the
Okay.
one side, and the other side is a relic of the outfit worn from that championship match that he won
Good
with
call.
with a signature on it.
That'd be great. Yeah, that's
So it's a matchbook where it just kind of opens up and it tells a story. It just open it up, and once I got the signature and the relic with something in the background with bright, maybe not even bright, maybe something that's just a nice design that has like him off in the upper corner, something like that, whatever. And the other side is a shot from the match like that, where he's got the holding the belt up or something like that.
that's a great design. Like, that's that would be in like that would be some high end. Who knows? Maybe Panini starts putting out stuff like that. They do
I mean,
have.
if you're a Big E collector, that'd be kind of like
Yeah.
and this, if this ends up being his one and only world title run, what a cool moment to have, to like capture that and have it, like I said, on one side with holding the belt up, and the other side with the signature and a piece of that outfit that he's wearing in that match, whatever, and some cool design on it like that to really kind of make it a centerpiece for your collection.
Even if it was, I like your idea way better. But even if this was like something realistic that, say, Panini or Topps could do, and they just did a basic mat relic, the fact that that mat was still part of that match, and
Yeah.
that you could open it and tell that story, as you said, that would still be amazing. I think that's something that's very underrated. People are not considering is mat relics from specific events,
Yeah.
because like it tells the story. It's what you do. You're like, I have a piece of the mat that was in this massive event.
That's why I loved all those old Fleer ones, even the ring mat
Right.
ones, because the back would always tell you this mat was used at Royal Rumble, blah blah blah,
Yep.
where it's like that. So it's like it kind of just, it puts me right there at that particular pay-per-view, whether I saw it live or not. It's just like, I remember that now. I totally remember it. So
Exactly. Yeah, something to think about if you guys are out there looking for, wrestling cards a little bit off the beaten path. So I started the show by talking about I guess, fans of Big E that think he got ripped off, or the ones that are collectors of his cards. Where do you think the future for Big E wrestling cards goes?
you want me to be honest about it? It's just,
This isn't Tony Shoots Part 3, but sure.
no, it's just I don't see it going up. I don't see a huge upside value wise from an investment standpoint. If you're a collector, it doesn't matter what the value is. It's just, if you're a fan, you're collecting because you love that character.
Yep.
And that's what's most important, is that you follow and love that character. And this is what you collect. But if you're looking into it from a monetary standpoint, I just don't see a whole lot of upside. Well, I know there is a lot of upside, but I don't see a whole lot of growth happening for
Yeah.
money
That's a better
wise
way to
like
put
that.
it.
I don't know why that is. I don't know why you have a collective community of people who are rooting for someone who's super nice guy. Obviously, I mean, if you watched anything about him, from behind the scenes, so nice, super nice guy, and probably and rightfully does probably deserve a run. Whatever you're,
he's a good wrestler. His
he's a
in-ring
good
stuff's
wrestler.
pretty good.
So I mean, he's a brute force kind of guy. It's like that who moves pretty good for a big guy. I mean,
Yeah.
But you know, did he get shafted in his booking? Was his booking not that great? It doesn't sound like it was. I don't watch the product, so I really don't know. But seeing highlights and reading reviews like that, it does sound like he got kind of like, he really didn't have a really great run. It's like, they gave him the belt, shut us up, now we move on, kind of thing. Um, I don't know. I just don't know if he has any long-term value, like someone I would invest my money into. And it's a shame because there's so many former world champions of people out there that just don't seem to hold value. And I don't understand why that is.
Well, you open up a lot of cans of worms on this one. Maybe not necessarily all negative, but just it makes me question things. So let's start with Big E himself. If you're a Big E collector, again, I said if you're a super collector, player collector, if you're just like maybe you collect people with belts, maybe you want something from a significant event, all like go for it. Like buy all the Big E cards. It's like, you know, me and Tony talking about our Loomis and Cross collections. Like we're fans. We're going to keep buying the cards. We don't care whether they have belts or whether they're on TV or anything like that. We're having fun. So if that's kind of where you're at, then go for it. As far as like value, I don't think it can get any worse. So if you like for some reason truly believe that, you know, he's going to have a future, then go for it, buy him, because it can't go any lower.
I mean, I could find autograph cards from like $5 and under sometimes.
Yes. And that kind of, the two things were brought, what kind of came to my mind as we were talking about this. The first is what you brought up, that why is, okay, you've got a rabid fan base. They're super behind this guy. Like it reminded me of when people were so behind Daniel Bryan when he eventually won the world title. Like that was a huge deal. Yep. So they're behind Big E like they were behind Daniel Bryan at that time, but yet it doesn't translate to the cards, which is completely opposite of every other aspect of the hobby. You know, if it's a, you know, NASCAR driver, it's a baseball player, you know, whatever it is, like if they're having a good run and they've got a fan base behind them, their cards go up in value. People start clamoring for their cards.
I wonder if other things of Big E stuff, like other merch, like T-shirts and like did that go up? Did that start selling more?
We still see, like when I go to wrestling events, I still see New Day stuff everywhere. So
okay.
it again is that could be one of those things where it's just not translating over into the cardboard world, and you know they're buying the figures or the shirts and not the cards. So that's that. The other thing I was thinking is, and we've talked about this before, I think, in every other aspect of the hobby, when you've got the top dog, the top guy, the champion, the team who won the Super Bowl, whatever it is, like that is generally what holds the most value. In wrestling, it doesn't seem like people care one bit about who's got a belt, who's on top, any of that stuff. Like Alexa Bliss cards, selling like crazy, hasn't been on TV very much in, you know, the last few months.
There's a TNA factor there for that though.
Yeah. I think it's also like character based. You know, people still like The Fiend. He's not been on TV in ages, but they identify with that character. So maybe it's again like Pokemon, character over like in-ring attributes. Does that,
gotcha.
You know, yeah, see? And then like what really drove home the point with this is I have a Big E 1-of-1 card that I got in a lot. I've had the cards during his entire, well, not his entire, but close to the entire world title run that Big E had. And I got maybe one or two people trying to offer me some super low ball offers on it. But I only have a 1-of-1 card priced at, I think I have it just under $100, which is pretty reasonable for a 1-of-1 card. And nobody seems to care. I mean, like, you know, that's generally when somebody is taken off on top, they want to go after the more rare stuff, the autos. You know, you talked about autos. I got an auto in a collection recently, sold for $10. And I'm just like, man, this guy's the champion and his autographs are selling for $10. Like, yeah, I priced it at what I saw comps going for. So it was not like I was trying to you know, just to get rid of it or anything. I was like, what are Big E autographs going for in this range with this type of card? Okay, if that's what the market says it is. So yeah.
It's
A lot
just,
of thoughts.
I don't get it. And there's a laundry list of other talent we can say the same thing about too.
Oh, and I'm sure we'll
And
get to it if we keep doing these. This is your cards.
yeah, and just, it's unfortunate. It's like that. I mean, everybody's trying to look, prospecting for their talents like that. I mean, I don't understand why they just don't kind of go outside the norm. But, again, the market will always dictate what's going to be the value there, obviously. So,
and the
it's just,
market in this case is determining essentially the fan base,
yep.
which is weird. And again, maybe it's the fan base just isn't buying cards. Back to that again.
Or his particular fan base doesn't
Yeah,
like to buy
yeah.
cards, or his particular fan base doesn't like to invest in anything outside of New Day stuff.
That's true. Yeah, that could be too.
I mean, there's all kinds of potential reasons there for something like that, but I'm sure every talent's got some sort of reasoning maybe there. Something, but
It's an interesting discussion, no matter which way you slice it.
Yeah, it still falls down to the avenue of why don't wrestling fans collect wrestling cards? But we'll see. It be the mystery for all times like that. What is the meaning of life?
Well, we keep trying. I mean, we're gonna go as long as we can and fight the good fight and keep pushing wrestling card information and trying to grow the hobby. So I think this is another great episode. We're gonna do Batista next time. I don't know when when they'll be, but we're doing Batista, and I've already got some interesting wild card plays in my mind. So you're gonna want to, it might be a month from now, but you're gonna want to stay tuned for that. In the meantime,
I'm gonna be ready. I'm gonna have stuff ready for that.
Oh, great! This is already gonna. Could this top the Brutus Beefcake episode? I don't know, but it could be close.
Could be close.
Tony, let everybody know where they can find you.
WrestlingTradingCards.com. 20th anniversary this year, folks.
I was just getting ready to say.
Check out. Come check us out. Everything you need to know about wrestling trading cards is going to be there. Checklist information, how to find me, get a hold of me. There's all kinds of different social media platforms, email address, all that stuff can be found at the bottom of every page on WrestlingTradingCards.com.
You can check out all of my information at Zhan Morning on Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, pretty much everything. The big places though, Wrestling with Cards on YouTube, Wrestling with Cards, the podcast. Please subscribe, tell a friend about those platforms too. Again, if you're interested in making wrestling card content, please reach out to us. We'd be happy to help you get started on that. We need more wrestling card content creators out there. Thank you guys for supporting us continually. Anybody that listens to this show takes the time to send us a DM saying, hey, you guys are doing good. Thank you for that. Any donations, patrons, anybody buying the WTC shirts. Oh, wait, they're sold out. You can't buy them. So everybody that bought those, just all the continued support. We're going to try to keep doing this for you each and every week. And until next week, which hopefully we'll be back, we'll see you.
See ya.